Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is WASTU KURNIA ILLAHI. In this opportunity, I want to talk about analytical exposition, explanation, and discussion text. The first one is analytical exposition. This is type of text or oral material that is used to explain the author's views on an issue. In other words, this text is argumentative. The type of text is very popular in academic circles and can be found in scientific books, journal, magazine, newspapers, article, academic speech, and so on. The purpose of this text is only to make the reader or listener aware of an issue raised by the writer or speaker. So next, analytical exposition features. There are several characteristics of this text. First one, it is an argumentative text with supporting reasons. The second, use simple present tense. And the third, using conjunction such as first, second, third, next, furthermore, additionally, and so on. The fourth, use evaluative words such as important, valuable, trustworthy, and so on. And the last, using causal conjunctional cause and effect, for example, as a result, because, by, consequently, despite, due to, for the reason, and so on. The generic structure of this text is: the first one, thesis, contain the opinion of the author or speaker regarding to the topic in the question. So the second, argument. Argument contains opinion that support the main idea. The more opinions that are written, the more interesting an analytical exposition text is, because reader or listeners tend to believe in an event if there are many supporting opinions in it. So the third, conclusion, contains conclusions or restatement on the essence of the ideas presented. The second text is explanation text. Explanation text is a type of text that describes a process. Talking about the process, this text is almost the same as procedure text. However, if the procedure text describes how to do something or process, this text describes how a process occurs. The way we can know that the explanation text serves to provide information to readers about a process. Explanation text characteristic. The first one, using the simple present tense. This text uses simple present tense because this text describes the facts. The second, using a verb. The example, do, make, create, and so on. And the third, using passive voice. Use passive voice is aimed to emphasize the focus on the event that took place rather than the subject. And the fourth, using nouns, phrase. The fifth, using technical term. This technical term refers to technical term related to the topic discussed in this text. And the last one, contain an explanation of the process. So, generic structure of explanation text There are two parts to the explanation text, namely general statement, contain general information on topic to be discussed in this text, and the second, explanation, contain a series of events or sequel of events from a process which is the topic of the text. We can also explain by using the why and how questions so that the explanation we convey is more comprehensive. Okay, the last one is discussion text. Discussion text is a type of text that presents several opinions that contradict one another. Discussion text several to describe problematic issues without taking sides with one opinion or view. The characteristic of this text, the first one, using simple present tense. So using modals such as might, can, must, and so on. The third, using constructing conjunction or connecting words that different, such as however, but, on the other hand, although, and so on. Generic structure of discussion text. The first one, issue. Contain issue that will be discussed in the text. So supporting points that support the issue. The author can present the main idea in the first sentence in paragraph, then elaborating on the main idea in the following sentence. So point of comparison. Contain points that contradict the main idea previously present, just as in the supporting point, the writer can present the main idea in the first sentence of the paragraph and then elaborate on the main idea in the following sentence. So the last conclusion, contain conclusion from the issue that have been discussed. The author can provide recommendation regarding the issues that have been discussed in the hope or not forcing that the reader to follow and agree with the author's opinion. Okay, maybe until here the explanation today. I hope you like my explanation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.